entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I was just going into that. Those who have gone ahead and made a mark in the economy and made names for themselves.
Yes.
How do they come in this case to be able to mentor young entrepreneurs, those who are still struggling to find their feet?
This is a very critical part of it all. Since I became obsessed to run the Sophie Samoa Foundation for Economic Empowerment, I have found that the greatest thing that's lacking is a disconnect. Many young men read what you have in the popular media. This country is hopeless. There's nobody to help you unless you know somebody. And they have that mentality. Sometimes they approach business with the mentality that it will not work. And we're saying, no, we have great men in this country. You know, we have Alhaji Aliko Dangote, we have Fola Adeola, we have Oba Otudeko, we have Chimovia, we have Tony Lumelu, we have very young people, Tony Cole. These guys have succeeded even in this economy. And many are succeeding. And what we're saying, how are they able to do it? And others are not able to do it. And so we're always looking for opportunity for us to mentor, to create an opportunity for younger entrepreneurs, body entrepreneurs, to listen to the more successful one. They are busy, difficult to get, but if you can get them and get 1 hour out of them, you find that many people will have their thoughts and minds changed, and they can then pursue the entrepreneurial engagement with greater hope and understanding.
We're talking about bridging the gap now. We need to bridge the gap and close the disconnection, you know, between the young ones and those who have gone ahead and those who are successful. But I just want to ask you this, because for those who are listening and would want to ask questions, if we can get 1 or 2 tweets, I hope that we can ask you before we wrap up the show. The issue of having to, you know, get problem solving, I think that's one of the things that brings about businesses. You have most people to solve a problem. But for many entrepreneurs, they have a lot of questions that they want to ask. And some of them feel that they've been left alone for a long time. How do you think they can get to learn from these entrepreneurs, the ones that made their names?
Yeah, this is why, you know, I mean, we do set up opportunities, summits, conferences, you know, training seminars, and we bring these people, you know, at very great sacrifice on their part, but they see it as corporate social responsibility. If they've gone ahead, they need to bring others behind, because, you know, the truth of the matter is that if you have a country where they say one man is rich and the others are poor, that man is poor, because by the time we drag him around and he shares what he has with everybody, there's nothing left. So I think that the effort is to get these successful entrepreneurs to try and model and mentor the younger ones. And the opportunity that can happen is through conferences, through summits, through seminars, and some of which we are driving in different formats. So we believe, and a couple of them we have found that it's been very, very impactful. The young men get fired when they listen to some of these guys, when they listen to Lustaneke speak, you know, or they listen to a Tony Lumelo, or they listen to Linus Okorius. These are young guys who are also entrepreneurial, and they are making success out of their different callings. And it is, for me, a major issue that to tell our young people there is hope. This is a land of opportunity. All you need to understand is how to set up your antenna to identify those opportunities and how to progress from A to B through a very structured business plan to leverage funding and equity investment and run your business according to principle. Everything in the world operates by principle. Many people say they're entrepreneurial, but they don't understand there are principles of entrepreneurship, there are principles of business management. So they make a shipwreck, and sometimes they borrow money and it's lost. And this is part of our concern in some of the initiatives we are pursuing to make sure that when people get this funding and get this help, they do not waste them. You know, it's not just that I have an idea, but that idea must be bankable and will be sustainable, and you must look at the totality of the spectrum from idea conception through transformation to reality. And there are different steps and stages. And if you do not stay and be able to either learn or listen to those who have passed through the roof, and that's why many people, first of all, lose the first money they put in business. Many people lose their first money, they learn their lessons, and they do better. But why must we allow history to repeat, and it will destroy wealth? So let's listen to the masters. Let's listen to those who have been successful. Those of us who are struggling, we learn. We should be humble to learn.
Do you think Nigeria can be self-sustaining in itself in terms of having to grow its entrepreneurs and yet stay and tell other countries that yes, even if we've been dependent on you for a while, we can stay on our own if we continue to grow our entrepreneurs?
Do you know that we talk about Nigeria as a land of entrepreneurs, but our entrepreneur density is only 0.6%. Botswana has 1.6. South Africa has 8 entrepreneur density. We are not even up to 1%. Most of the things we do, people are trading, people are doing some vocational. That's not essential entrepreneurship. People may have some business, they're business wise, but entrepreneurship is essentially the idea to conceive an idea.
You require some kind of skills for that?
It does, yes, it does. It's not just that you find an idea. you must find an idea. You must also be able to put the idea through certain criteria to show that that idea is marketable. If I come and say that television is a good business to do, maybe because channel is succeeding, and then I want to go borrow money, nobody will, even if we learn to do it, I will fail. I have to understand what the market is all about. Where is the niche? Where is the gap? What is the level of dissatisfaction within the market? And then I want to fit into it. And if I can fit into it and get sufficient people to buy that niche, then I'm ready to go to business. And that's what funding organizations are looking at. Where is the opportunity? So this country can move up and become suppose you woke up one morning and half of the people who are unemployed in this country are doing business and generating wealth. Do you know that there is nothing in this country that is not a short supply? I don't know whether you've noted that. There is nothing that is not in short supply. There's nothing that has met full market needs. And that's why with a little advertising, people, their businesses move up. We have a big country. Sometimes when we talk about this country, we look as if we're Lagos or Abuja. We have a country that is so large with 36 states and more. And each of them is a development node. If you go to Port Harcourt, if you go to Aba, if you go to Kano, if you go to Ibadan, there are business opportunities waiting to be taken. And I'll give you that example, that when you see the Indians and the Chinese coming to this country, they're coming in droves. Why are they coming here? Even on the story of, I was in the north last week, when you go to Bauchi, go to Gombe, where you hear about all this Boko Haram story, you'll be surprised that these foreigners are there doing business. And that shows that our country has great potential. We have a big market. We're a medium income country, not just because we produce oil, but because we have the endowments in agriculture. And agriculture can provide sufficient employment and business opportunities. And that's what I think Dr. Akinwumi Adesina and the Ministry of Agriculture is speaking about, that agriculture is business. We used to see it as a social activity. It's business. And that's what we're promoting, that people should be agropreneurs, that's the young agri entrepreneurs, and in the different segments, in agriculture, in IT, in industry, both in entertainment, and what have you. Those are the kind of things we are preaching, that if everybody gets up in the morning and gets something doing that is valuable and yielding income, some of our social problems will be dealt with. When people are busy, they don't have time for too many distractions. Okay.
I'd like you to give a final word to our listeners, for those who are entrepreneurs or those who are planning to go into a business, for those who want to grow an empire. What do you tell them?
Well, my basic message is this, that those who are not entrepreneurs who want to should understand that this is a country of opportunity. There are needs to fill. There are too many problems to be solved. And each solution you provide could provide funding and money. There are values to be created. We have so many things at the rudimentary level. We produce oil, we import fuel. We produce rubber, we import tires. There is need to convert those things into finished goods. So there's plenty of market, but we need to understand also the environment and incentives that have been brought. So the third point is that we need to have opportunity to interact with the masters, those who have been successful. Let us learn to mentor, and let us learn to be mentees. Let's learn to go and learn from those who have succeeded, and I believe that the opportunity exists. So everyone should look for an opportunity to do better. And those who haven't started to learn how to do, those who are doing to do better and increase their game. Okay. If by the end of the next 2-3 years we achieve a business density of 1, then we'll have moved from 0.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Sam Owabora is a founder, Sam Owabora Foundation for Economic Empowerment. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And now it's here on Business Morning. Thank you so much, all our viewers, for taking out time to watch the program. We hope that you've learned one or two things on the show. I am Bolaji Akinwale.